What's up, y'all? Today I'm gonna be doing my makeup. I'm getting ready to do a live stream. It's been a while since we did a chit chat get ready with me Q&A type beat, so I thought that I would just chat with you guys while I do my makeup. I just showered and got home from a leg day. It was an okay one. This is the Tarte Skin Perfector. I will try to link all the products I use down below. It wasn't too busy in the gym. I did go a little earlier than normal, so that was actually really nice. I don't know if you guys have listened to my podcast or seen my little March goals IG reel, but one of my goals for March is to start doing more cardio. I want to do at least 20 minutes of cardio after each lifting sesh. There's a couple of reasons for this. I just haven't done cardio in a while because I've been walking so much here and I always get over 10,000 steps a day. I was just always like, bro, you know, if my goal is to gain muscle and stuff, like I don't know, like I'm not really trying to lose weight. Why would I go out of my way to do extra cardio? And you know, it's winter and it's just like, I don't know. Y'all know I have my Apple Watch and I track my data. It literally said that my cardio fitness levels were below average just because I wasn't doing cardio. It's not like I would get out of breath walking or hiking. I mean, obviously if I was doing a super strenuous hike, duh. So that was kind of like, okay, maybe I need to be like exerting myself in a cardiovascular way more daily. And then also, you know, it is getting to be spring and summer and I do kind of want to like just have that more toned look. Since I've been back home, I've been very much, yeah, I'm gonna hit my protein goals, but I'm pretty much gonna eat whatever and my focus is just gonna be like bulking, I guess. Not that it's been anything crazy or that I've been like I still eat pretty clean most of the time, but yeah, I wasn't really doing cardio. I was just like, I'm lifting, I'm hiking sometimes with a dog, it was like whatever. I really need to trim this eyebrow, but I want to do that this weekend when I shave my whole face. So right now we're just doing cardio. It's not like I'm dieting or anything like that, but yeah, just kind of headed in that direction. I want to have that like really just fit toned vibe. Okay, what do I want to use? Nothing beats an LA girl concealer. Like, I mean, stuff definitely does, but so I wanted to talk to y'all about something super serious. I need help, y'all. I'm thinking what I want to do is not be blonde anymore. As y'all can see, like I've let my shit grown out a lot and my hair grows fast. I got it last done in November, so I don't know, this just seems like a lot of growth. It's so funny to like watch videos over time and just see my hair like grow out. But I've said this for like the past year, maybe even more. I never really like my hair when it's freshly highlighted. I just feel like it doesn't really match my skin tone and I just always like it when it's a little more grown out. Like this is a little much. Like there's a fine line between it just looking grown out and it looking like, oh, just a little more like depth. As iconic as it would be, I don't want to go back to like a 2015 like really dark brown black, because my natural hair color isn't that dark and I just hate the look of like lighter roots. So I'm thinking of just going a little darker, like a light brown, like not even a blonde but almost like a dark blonde, just with some dimension. Shout out to my friends at Urban Decay, not sponsored, but they did gift me a lot of stuff. Just needs a little bit. I don't really need that much coverage, but I need that base. So let me know what you guys think. I basically just don't want to have to get my hair done. It's been so long since I've just had my natural hair color and I want to start to move in that direction. I got my hair trimmed last week, was it? And it was a new girl that I had never been to before and she said that she could tone my hair so it would be like a little darker and just kind of match my natural hair color a little more, but still like a little bit blonde, and that would wash out after 6 weeks so I wouldn't have to fully commit to going dark. Because also my fear is like, what if I change my mind? Like, it takes so long to fully highlight all of your hair, especially if you're starting from all dark, and I just don't want to waste money like time like that. So I think I'm gonna do that, but let me know what you guys think. Like, no beef with the blonde. I just hate, especially when you get a full set of highlights, I just hate spending that much time in the salon and then not even ever really loving it after. Even if the stylist does an amazing job, it's just like, with my skin tone, I just feel like I need something a little darker. It makes me look a little more tan, and like makes my eyes pop. Whenever I see videos or pictures of me when I have like fresh highlights, I'm always like, But I'm not going dark. Like that's a little unreasonable. Even though I feel like it would look really good, like the maintenance is just too much. I'm getting to the point, you know, in this winter, early spring, in my hometown, alone, where I just really can't wait to like get full glam and go out. Honestly just for like the wearing cute clothes. I mean, that's just like a nicer weather thing anyway. I just want to wear a cute little outfit and put on a lash and do like a full coverage beat and like go to dinner. Okay, so let's get some of these questions poppin'. I don't know if having both is too excessive, but they're kind of like they serve different purposes. Somebody asks, do you think there is such thing as an influencer that is too young? I think definitely, bro, and especially seeing some of these parents just totally exploit their kids. Like, there'll be extreme versions obviously, but then also just like mom vloggers who just always show their kids, show everything about their kids. It is a little odd, and I don't really know how ethical that is. And there has been content and podcasts and articles on this before, but it does make you wonder like what the child labor laws are going to look like in the future regarding online content, influencers, etc. Like, while surface level, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, it'd be so chic to be like a mom vlogger, and like, oh my god, like when you really think about it, it's just not. The kid can't really consent to that, and then it's like that's out there forever. And again, especially in some of these very extreme cases, because obviously there's like more low-key little vloggers or like Instagram moms that like they don't have that many followers, but it's still like, you know, they're making some money from this. You know, maybe they have more of a wholesome vibe. They're not like obviously exploiting their kids, but it's still just even like posting your kids that much is a little questionable to me. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. And then like talking about their kids' schools and like maybe filming their schools or posting the schools low-key. It's just like a safety concern too. And then there's certain families online, so I don't really know like what the answer to that is. I do think to a certain extent these kids need to be protected, you know? It is kind of exploitation. Are they getting any ad revenue from this? Like, is there a certain percentage taken out for the kids and being put away in an account until they're 18, you know? Like, probably not. But yet your whole brand is like your kids. I saw a tweet today that was like this TikTok influencer, I don't know who she was. I assume she was underage though, and she had gotten her braces off, and someone had screenshotted all the creepy comments, or just, you know, a handful of the creepy comments with all these adult men being like, oh, I only followed you for your braces. Like, that's so sad. And then just thinking back, like, bro, I've been a victim. Even in the American Girl doll days, when I did not show my face, I was not on camera, but you could obviously tell like it was a little girl making these videos, and like I would get creepy messages. It's like there needs to be like the death penalty for that, you know? What areas of NYC are you considering living in? Great cute. So I'm definitely looking. I will say this, I don't want to be too specific. I really crave like a neighborhood vibe and like something where you can walk places and get into the city, but like something with like a little bit more space. But obviously the right place is gonna be the right place. But it is like really crazy just the price for a decent sized apartment in Manhattan. Like, LA is definitely way cheaper, or at least it was. I haven't like obviously looked. This is like my favorite look right now, just like a bronzer and a crease and like a white eyeshadow. Okay, somebody asks, what has your experience with therapy been? So I talked about it last year, I think. I tried therapy around this time last year actually. I feel like the further away from it I get, the more I realize how horrible of an experience it was. And it just really opened my eyes to like how difficult it is basically to find the right therapist. It's just finding her to begin with was so annoying. Making sure that she accepted insurance, which I don't even know if she did, but I mostly went for anxiety and like panic disorder. It was very much talk therapy, which maybe that was a mistake. I was interested in these specific like tools or methods of therapy that were on her website, but it basically just ended up being talk therapy, even though I asked her about those things. Everything she told me I already knew. Like, well, today we're going to talk about breathing. It's like, great, why did I just pay you for that hour to teach me something I've known for years? That's why I'm going to, because I already know this stuff, and it's like I need help beyond this. So I felt like she didn't really like take the time to get to know me. I remember one of the things she said was like I was telling her how I have like anxiety to drive, and like, oh my god, I got a panic attack while I was driving once, and it was just really like traumatic. In that same session she was like, oh, like there's this really great nature, like guided nature walk near you. It's like an hour drive, but it's like so worth it. I'll send you that link. And I was just thinking, like, did she not hear me talk about how I'm like scared to drive? Like, yeah, I'm sure your nature walk is great, but like, what is that gonna do for me? So I went to a few sessions and it just was not getting any better, because at the same time I was like, you know, I've never done this before. Maybe this is just part of the process of like starting therapy. Like, they want to get to know you, they want to make sure you know like the basics. I just remember the last appointment we ever had, she basically was like, well, is there anything else? I was like, yeah, I guess, you know, breathing helps, but like, I don't know. And so she was like, well, I have no more advice to give you basically about that, even though I still like nothing had really changed for me. She's like, well, we still have some time left. Is there anything else you want to talk about? And I was like, oh, maybe we can talk about like dating, because, you know, reading like the Attached book, for example, like I feel like there's so many things you can get into like psychologically when it comes to dating and the type of people you attract, setting boundaries and all that kind of stuff. And she was basically like, okay, let's make a list of like all the qualities you'd want in a partner. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'd want him to be emotionally mature, this, that, whatever. And she, so guys, like literally the more time that's passed, the more like horrifying and unprofessional this was to me. So she was like, oh, like it sounds like you want like a feminist kind of guy. And I was like, yeah, I guess like ideally, yeah. Well, does it matter how, like if the guy makes more money than you? And I was like, I feel like at this point in my life, yes, like you need to be making at least the same amount of me, realistically more, especially because I usually date guys that are a little older. Bro, that must have triggered her, because she started talking about her son. She was like, well, my son doesn't make that much, but he's always doing things, you know. He doesn't have a car, but he just always is doing activities with his friends, you know, they'll ride their bikes. And, you know, I think you're really limiting your options by thinking that. And then like she went on about like her son and what a great guy he was. And I was just like, is this like real? I just like didn't really know what to say. Like I was like, okay, just kind of like, ugh. Looking back, I wish I like called her out, because she literally was like, oh, like it sounds like you and my son would really get along, ha ha ha. Why would you even like say that? And then she was like, well, like where do you usually meet people? And I was like, just like out, I guess, but I kind of want to change that. She was like, well, you live in like an apartment building, like do they ever have like mixers or anything? And I was like, I don't know, like I wouldn't really want to start talking to someone that lived in the same building as me, just because, you know, like if it doesn't work out. And that like also seemed to annoy her. Like she was like, well, you know, you don't want to do online dating and you don't want to meet someone in the places you go, so I don't know what you want. I was like, yeah, like I don't love online dating, it's just like there's so many annoying guys on there basically. And she was like, well, it's a great way to weed them out. And I was like, what if you weed everyone out, you know? So then she was like, okay, when do you want to schedule another appointment? And I was like, I'll let you know. And then I broke up with her over email. That is actually like a great idea for like a comedy skit. So maybe, you know, it was not a complete waste of time, but literally like I keep saying, like the more, okay, I put way too much. The more time it passes from that, the more like horrified I am. So let me know if you have like a bro, I put way too much. Let me know if you have a bad experience. Yeah, it's like no wonder people like don't do this, because it's not easy to even start